This is session 2 of God's awesome plan. If we read the Gospel according to Matthew, it begins with a bit that most of us probably skip, or else we like to read it in the old King James Version where it has all the begats. However, this genealogy is there for a purpose. It says something quite important. First of all, Jewish people did keep a record of their genealogy, and it was the task of the Sanhedrin to keep the genealogies. It was important to the Jewish person because they wanted to prove the purity of their Jewish heritage. In fact, some of the people returning from exile in Babylon wanted to be registered, but they couldn't find their names in the genealogies, and so they were excluded. The genealogy is here to show that Jesus traced his ancestry right back to Abraham. Abraham, the father of the nation, and this is to show that Jesus is the fulfillment of the promise that was made to Abraham. Genesis 12:2-3. I'll make you a great nation, and I will bless you, and all the peoples of the earth will be blessed through you. The second part of the genealogy begins with King David, and this is to show that Jesus is the fulfillment of the promise given to King David. 2 Samuel 7:16. Your house and your kingdom will endure forever. Your throne will be established forever. Second section actually ends with the exile, and this of course was the lowest point in Israel's history. But then the third section is like the restoration, which culminates in Jesus. So the whole thing is constructed to say Jesus is the fulfillment of the promise to Abraham, the fulfillment of the promise to David, and it's only in him that these promises can be fulfilled. Also note it includes some women, and that wasn't what Jewish genealogies usually did. These women were Tamar, she was an adulteress, Rahab, a prostitute, Bathsheba, and Ruth. And Ruth wasn't even a Jew. So why were women included, and especially why some rather dubious women? The whole genealogy is inclusive. People are all included, and it doesn't matter what their gender is, it doesn't matter what their race is, it doesn't matter whether they're good or bad. They are all people. Paul in Romans 3:22 writes, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. They are justified by his grace as a gift. So Mary is the climax of this genealogy, a simple human being who was to bring the Son of God into the world. Now, the last of the Old Testament prophets was written in 400 BC. The expected Messiah hadn't come, but the promise was still there. So why was it so long before Jesus came? It is because God's timing was right, is always right. One of the important things at that time was that Rome ruled the whole Middle East area. They may not have liked the Roman rulers, but at least they had brought stability, and that Israel wasn't going to be invaded by some foreign country. Rome also built roads so that their soldiers could move around quickly, but this also meant that other people could move from country to country quite freely. And this of course was very important once the resurrection had occurred and the gospel was to be spread. God's timing is always perfect. There is nothing in this that is coincidental.
You've come to bring peace, to be loved, to be nearer to us. You've come to bring life, to be light, to shine brighter in us, oh Emmanuel, God with us, our deliverer. Savior, in your presence we find our strength. Over everything, You